Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a very special one. We are going to create like a custom palette of like pastel color tones. I'm calling it Paint Me Pastels palette. So if you're ready to see how I achieved this look and what are the shades that I selected, then please keep on watching. So I wanted to create like a custom palette of like 12 shades. So that's exactly what I did. So let's dive right in and I'm going to swatch everything on the back of my hand and then we'll go for this tutorial how I achieved this look. You guys do let me know, like how do you feel like this kind of shades, like pastel tones on me? I'll leave that turn to you. But let's begin. The first shade that I picked out is from the Ladybug Glow palette, and the first shade is like a coral shade, and this is the shade that I picked. This is cute, and this, when swatched, you will see like how beautiful and like smooth it is. And I did not use this shade, but this shade like by itself is such a beautiful, beautiful shade on the eyes. I really like it. So that's cute from Ladybug Glow palette. I'm going to color coordinate my shades for this palette. So the second shade that I picked out is from the Heather Austin and Adept palette. And I chose the shade Austin, this one. It has so many different tones to it that I had to put this in like my pastel palette. It's so pretty. Look at that. It's just so gorgeous. You can clearly see that peachy pink, but it also shifts to like a blue, an aqua green shade. It's so pretty. So pretty. Okay. Oh my God. I should have definitely used that, right? Okay. Okay, the next shade in the palette is a lot of the mattes that I chose from the for this palette is from the Blend Bunny Primal palette. So the next shade that I'm gonna swatch is Prey, this pastel yellow shade. So let me show that to you. This is like a perfect palette if you are like a medium skin tone and you want pastels to pop on your eyes. This is the palette to go for. So that is the shade Prey, a pastel yellow shade. Really pretty. Now to correspond to that yellow matte, I chose another yellow shimmer shade. It's definitely like all my shimmers are going to be either duochrome or multichrome because I'm going for like that concise color story of like 12 shades. So I chose my shade from the Ethereal palette, and the shade that I chose is Lucent, this yellow shade. It has like a strong yellow to green flip. It also has a little bit of pink to it. I can clearly see that yellow to pink actually. So pretty. So pretty. Oh, you see green, right? Oh, in front of me, I see a lot of like yellow to pink. Oh my God. How do I show you the pink? Oh my God, I see like yellow and pink. You see green. That's crazy. So pretty. Okay, let's move on. The next shade that I picked out is from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, and I chose this shade, which is Haze, this pastel green shade. You can obviously use like so many of the, like this shade is there in like so many other palettes that I'm going to talk about, and I'll tell you which greens were I referring to. But this green is definitely so special. It's more of like a lighter pastel-y tones. There's one green in the Ladybug Glow palette too, but that green is definitely a little more on the punchier side, but very close to it. Can you see that? So if you have this palette, you can get those shades too. Now the shimmer that I wanted to correspond with that green shade is from the Cool Summer palette from It's Bel Cosmetics. And I chose the shade, this one. This is actually called Blue Curacao. This shade and this shade is like interchanged because I got like from the initial palette launch. So I'm going to swatch this Blue Curacao shade and I'm going to place that right there. It's like a purple to a green blue shifting shade. Can you see that? Such a pretty shade. Such a pretty shade. Love it. Oof. So excited. The next shade that I'm going to swatch is Mimic, this purple shade, the pastel purple. So let's do that. There you go. That's Mimic. And the corresponding shimmer that I wanted to swatch is actually my shade with Pretties for Your Face, and that is called Glacier. If you've been with me, you know how much I love this shade, and you cannot blame me. Like, it's such a pretty shade. Like, it has like purple, orange, pink, and in like sunlight, you can definitely see that green blue too. It's just a special multi-chrome. So I had to swatch it. You cannot blame me. So let me swatch this here. Oh my God. It's just so special, so special. So that is Glacier. That might be the deepest shade of this palette. So pretty. Okay, the next shade that I want to swatch is this pastel pink shade, which is Rome. So let's do that. So pretty. Look at that. So that's Rome from Blend Bunny Primal palette. And to correspond to that, I have another shimmer, again from the It's Bel Cool Summer palette, and I'm gonna swatch this shade, which is actually called Bikini. And this is like a pink to a blue shifting shade. Look at that. So pretty. Love it. Really, really pretty. The last matte that I want to swatch is from the Simply Posh Cosmetics Berry Icy palette, and I'm going to swatch this pastel blue shade, which is Fresh. So let's swatch that. There you go. This is so vibrant, so pretty. Look at that. That's Fresh. And the last shimmer that I'm going to swatch is from Looxi Beauty. And the shade that I'm going to swatch is called Cookie Dough, which is this. It's like a yellow to a blue shifting shade. You would prominently, I feel like, see the blue. It's like an iridescent multichrome or like a duochrome. I don't know. I would say multichrome. I see a lot of purple and pink and yellow and blue. Let me give it one more swatch. So pretty. Oh, see, you see that iridescent blue coming through. And that is my Paint Me Pastels palette that I wanted to show you guys. Oh my God, I'm in love with this palette. Do let me know, how do you feel about this palette? Now, without further ado, let's move on to this eye look. Let's begin. We're going to start off with our mattes first. First, we're going to dive into the Blend Bunny palette. First, I'm going to start with Rome. And then I'm going to do like a pink to a blue to a purple. That's what I'm thinking at least. So after Rome, I'll go to Fresh from the Berry Icy palette. And then we'll dip back into the Blend Bunny palette for the shade Mimic. So let's do that. So first taking the shade Rome. And this is like a very, obviously it's a pastel video. So Rome is a very pastel-y pink shade, baby pink shade. I'm going to build up the transition on the inner third with Rome. And I want to show it on my skin tone just because I easily can put like a white base underneath and this will pop more. That's like no questions answered like that. But I want to keep it like super simple on my skin tone and show you like how we can build up these shades. And how is it gonna look on a medium to tan skin tone. So once we have that, now we're gonna take the Fresh shade on the same brush. This is BK Beauty's A502 Angie Hot and Flashy brush. And then I'm gonna join that pink with that blue. And these are like fluffy brushes. We are gonna pack it up in just a minute, but I wanna first have like a great blend across the crease. I'm just gonna take that pink again, the shade Rome, and just blending it with that blue, just so that there's like a smooth flowing of the shades and you can see clearly that pink and the blue. Now let's move on to the purple shade, which is a Mimic from the Blend Bunny palette. So I'm going to take this shade, tap off the excess, and then start building that in the outer corners. So my purpose here is like the outer corner needs to be like a purple that blends to that blue. Obviously it's not going to be like a deep look just because it's like a pastel palette. So this is how deep we're going to get. Building it up, packing it up, and then blending it with that blue. Just like that in the crease. I'm going to take the same Mimic shade on my lower lash line. Looks like an Easter on my eye. And then I'm going to take this Rome shade and put that towards the inner corner or the lower lash line. Before we move on to the shimmers, I want to do one more matte, and that's the shade Prey, which is the yellow. I'm going to pack that up and put that right there in the inner corner for the added brightness. Just like that. It's a beautiful yellow. Like, it's very rare that a pastel yellow would show up on my skin tone, and this definitely does show up. Okay, now for the shimmers, just because we don't have a lot of depth happening on the outer corners, I wanna just deepen it out a tiny little bit with my shade, and this is Glacier. I know you've seen this shade like a million times on my channel, but I cannot help it because this is so pretty. I'm just gonna take like a kiss of it and put that right there. Oh my god, I cannot with this shade, seriously. And it's not because it's my shade, I just love it. Ugh, love it, love it. Okay, so right there, super pretty. And I'm putting a very, very little, tiny little bit. Just scattering it through the outer portions of my lid. And this is Glacier from Pretties for Your Face. If you do not know that, you can use the code SMITHYSONY to save some money off. And then I'm gonna dip into this palette, and this is the shade Blue Curacao. Actually, if you buy this palette now, you'll see these two shades interchanged, but the actual name of this shade is Blue Curacao. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna apply that right there, mixing it with that purple. It's a beautiful blue-green shade, and just melting it into Glacier. Just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So you can see, like, sometimes it feels like green, sometimes it feels like blue. It's like such a magical shade. Just for a tiny little bit more essence, I'm gonna take this shade, which is actually Bikini, and then I'm gonna take that in the inner corners, just on top of that yellow. Would give that lime green shift, but if you put that actually just on top of your like bare eyelids, it's a very beautiful pink to a blue to a green shifting shade like this one. Really, really pretty. Okay, so that's what we have for our eyes. I'm going to finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. And that's my final eye look. This is completely going outside my comfort zone. You've never seen me wear like these like pastel-y tones on my eye. I'm loving this palette and the eye look that I created. You guys do let me know, like, how do you feel pastels on me? Like, I don't know how to feel about it, just because I don't like pastels on me, especially just because of my tan skin tone. I really feel like the pastels pop on like lighter skin tones or even like deeper skin tones really, really well. So I don't know how do I feel about it, but you guys let me know. But I love the palette that I created using these pastel shades. Do let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about it? If you did like this video or not. If you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.